View.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Mhm,
Sorry, Ellen.
Share. Right. All right. So what we should be looking at right here is the mock-up of the web design that me and William worked on the last meeting. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah. No, I see. I saw this already.
Okay, so what I wanted, do you want to go over anything from last meeting or want me to tell you what it is that we were thinking of when we drafted this up?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know what you're thinking of because it's exactly the way it was kind of laid out, but just the design of itself. This is we need to discuss this, but it's a draft. So I again,
Okay, so let me tell you what it is that I'm going for. So this is the website template that we were talking about in the video.
okay.
So I like this website template. One reason is because it looks like a full picture of
Yeah,
a website. So I'm going for a full picture. That's where we got that background image in there, and from this example here. I don't want this top slideshow. I wanted these 3 blocks. So that's how you saw those 3 blocks.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I wanted this one in the middle to be the taller block to represent the United States. That's what I was going for. And then the bottom is other
Yeah,
links.
it's just a
Yeah,
footer. It's a footer.
yeah.
It's a
Mhm.
gradient. What it is actually, what you're seeing is a parallax, right? The have a background image. Now, this is nice. It's harder to read doing a site like this. Is that it doesn't really flow, is my concern. So if you go back to the original design, go like the original, yeah, the original that no, the sorry, his template, the one that they produced. Let's the image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mean the one you did on
No, 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 no. The one you showed me, the graphic of the draft. Let me think of my concerns first in design. Not this part, the actual image of the website that was drafted already with yeah, this one.
oh,
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So where is your eye driven here? Your eye's driven to the middle ones. That's the priority on the screen, right?
Right.
So based on this right now, um, as the screen stacks, this is a poor way of use of space. It should be spread out, whatever color. Now, if you want that image background, this stuff is going to scroll, and you can have that. Um, I'm just looking at color design and stuff like that. I wouldn't, there's certain things about this, but I mean, this is just a draft. So, um, not having the hero section, that's fine. You don't need a hero is or anything because that's the first thing you're going to capture is your first appearance of the site. So this is such a critical aspect of engagement with your potential or users, right? Now having the one image background like this site here, you see how it scrolls. The image, the parallax it's not parallax because it's a
This
fixed
one
background. Yeah,
that
but it's a
screws.
fixed
Okay.
background, so that it has layers on top of it. Those are like, um, and there's transparency, right? So you can do that. I mean, that's just
I'm looking at it in on my phone while we're talking.
yeah, no, well, it collapses, right? So the squares have to be dynamic. The images have to be dynamic and in resizing if you're going to use images too as well, right? So
Okay.
it's going to stack. Ideally, it's oh, um, oh, like you're dealing with dynamic sites. You're dealing responsive design, right? So your layers, your shapes are going to change based on the viewport, based on what can fit within that restricted width of that device, right? You don't
Okay.
want to
Mhm.
overextend that device. You want to have, and it has to be consistent because things are going to slide out of place, slide down, or slide above, right? Based on that viewport width.
Mhm.
So my only concern with having the image like that, I would probably go the other way of have a hero section, an introduction, a welcome page type of thing. This is your chance to engage unless this is a subset. Maybe my intention, my understanding of what this page is, but if this is a main landing page, um, you know, maybe it's a good thing for explaining the three section welcome, discover the three different sections of your government. So it's a prime opportunity to give an introduction of what you're achieving at this section, right? It's a different
Mhm.
type of site. I think these type of sites are harder to read and not as legible, and then they overlay and they don't look as good when you do backgrounds. In that you can do it within a section, or a fold within the site, but I think just keeping it consistent. I don't think there's a very clear site for legibility reading it.
Mhm.
You know, as soon as you start putting text over images, even though it's a dark, see how they had to put a gradient to make it
Yeah.
darker near the edges,
Uh-huh.
right? So it's better to have text in on an opaque or a you know straight back one color than have
Okay.
a high contrast. That's just for legibility. That's my concern with doing this like that. No, I'm not. It can be done like that, but that's my concern.
Mhm.
Go to some other sites. I mean, let's have you
Some of
pick
the
this
other
one.
examples, let me go, there was, so I was picking the ones that I kind of like. So let me look, open this one. This one was Kentucky.
It's
Yeah, that I
see
like.
here.
Mhm.
Well, see how the images make it hard to read already. Like it's not like it's yeah, it's creative, but it's not effective for reading. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I mean this is not bad. I mean, but you can have sections that have parallax backgrounds within it, but see how it's segmented, see how the screen it's done somewhat. Go to that screen. See, that's a one section, that's one screen. The navigational menu is always on top, so that's one fold. And then this would be a fold. See how that is?
Mhm.
Now, if I was going to say, for instance, they have his information, you could say, well, welcome to section. This is, what we're here to do, and here's a section. So you can kind of give somebody, a welcome introduction. That's what the hero sections are for. Why am I here? Have speaker, right?
Okay, so like this front page, this first section here with this picture,
Yeah.
this would be a welcome section, hero
Well, here
section.
it's a hero section. That's what that's for. It's like it's your first introduction to that section, so it sets basically the information of why you're here, what we do, or what as a corporation. I'm speaking. Why it's normally. I'm sorry. So maybe it's slightly out of context for our particular
Mhm.
need. But
Mhm.
usually these front sections is what catches your eye. Why would I want to be here? The General Assembly will speaker. You know what I mean? This is why I'm here. This is a good fold, right? It's got a background, but I think it would look more elegant if you had those nice colors and not have too many pictures because the legibility of the text,
Mhm.
right? So we have concerns of you know accessibility of people, right? And as
Mhm.
soon as you fold it down, the picture loses its quality. It's better to have defined sections within the sections that are nice images and use that imagery. See how it changes? It's supposed to be like,
Mhm.
whether it rotates or not, it doesn't matter. That's what that is. It's like a welcome. Why am I here? Who am I interacting with?
Okay,
You
so
know,
in the welcome section, you're suggesting that that comes first, the welcome section, with something more solid, no picture?
well, no pictures. This could be it's a hero. It's called a hero section, is what it is. It's like it's your introduction to the world. So whatever site you go to and anything, the most important thing is going to be their homepage, their very lane name, because it defines who they are as a business or an organization or what they're doing. Right. I'd have to know who this is, what I don't know this. If I hit this page like this, okay, that's cool. United States, but who's the site and what you know what I mean? Like what's behind it? You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. I think an introductional section in any site Kind of like you're here, you can go through the different segments of a different government based on, or whatever explanation, you want to come up with, or whatever you want to
Mhm.
highlight, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Mhm.
Um,
So so in what we're looking at here now, I have these three sections of in these blocks here. You're saying make this into a paragraph?
no, well, possibly, maybe even having like text. Do you want to
Mhm.
know, what I mean? The highlights, it could be just sentences, you know what I mean? It could be just, you can do so much in a hero section, you know what I mean? It's like, what's the engagement? It's like an introduction to what your engagement, what you're, you know what I mean, who you are, and you know what I mean. Sure, it's you can go to any website and you'll see the same thing, right? This here, the way the logo is and stuff like that. It's, I mean, not the logo, but it's already, it's a whole waste of space right there, because the United States of America official government website is, the menu above would be in better place up top. You know what I mean? Instead of below, taking up inside of that address space too as well. You know,
Mhm.
there's a lot of little things. As I'm saying, this is something somebody would have designed a site like this in 1990 to early 2000s.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to give you guidance in how to, the elegance of the elements are in it, definitely, but it starts looking clutterly, and it's not as effective because it's just, you can go through analysis of design and see.
Mhm. So can you recraft it in a mock-up that you're saying, like on paper?
I don't have Photoshop, or otherwise I would do it. If I had Illustrator or Photoshop, I'd do it. I don't have a license of it.
Okay, I mean like this. This is just like Word document.
Call up my HTML document again. Do you have that there?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, let me find it. Uh, let's see what's in my website development here.
I'm just thinking, what's a website? Any website,
You
something.
mean like this? This one?
Yeah. So,
This is one
well,
of them.
one of them. Okay. So, where'd you go? Okay. Um, See how, I maintain when you scroll down, you're not having that huge thing. It stays in scope the whole entire time to make it navigable, right? You don't have
Okay.
that huge logo up top. You can still have the logo right there as just like, welcome, you're at the American government website. You know what I mean? It's like you're giving an introduction before. Now the proportions aren't right. Technically, that would be the whole space. But if you look at I mean, the portions of the folds aren't correct. You know what I mean?
They of this fold or the fold that on this fold is not correct.
Yeah, see
This
the American
portion is not
government
correct. Okay.
website up top, see that whole header section?
Yeah.
That's wasted space in the
Mhm.
fold,
Okay.
right? It would be better to have it below it if it's not going to stay there the whole time, which based on the interactivity of the screen, it could be represented. The menu is always going to be what, 1/3 of the screen? I don't know, or does it scroll with the page, right? But you want to have navigational, so having navigation accessible at all times is the ideal.
Okay.
Right, I don't
What
know
do you?
how this interactivity was intended, right? So you're
Okay.
already taking 1/4 of the screen just for the navigation and the logo.
Okay.
And you know what I mean?
So what about if those logos go inside the box?
Yeah, like it could probably go on the right hand side, have a thing that, if internet an introduction, that's why I changed it,
Mhm.
that's why I put it in the middle. If you look at the other design, even though it's not proportioned in folds. Do you know how you can do it? Is do this, scroll your screen to one side so you can split screen it. That way you can look between both of them. Do you know how to do a split screen? So you grab the top and then you slide it right to the very edge, and yeah, then you do a split screen. I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
No, I can just,
hold it to the left side or the right side. All the way and hold it right to your cursor, right? Hold the whole time until you see little boxes. Yeah, there you go. And then it should say select the other side.
which one we want to look at this
That one, yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time? Come on. No, that's not what I wanted. Let you go. I was trying to do it this way. No, yeah, let me see, can I grab it? There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna change it now. Okay. So the folds you're talking about, instead of this being up on the left here, instead of these images being all up there by themselves, we can put it all in the square itself and just have 3 squares or rectangles.
That's a possibility, yeah. That's no, that's not what I was referring to. I was going like on the thing, okay, I've got 3 federal. Is this the main landing page? Like the way I
Yeah.
had it, the way your initial was, I like the way you had it laid out prior. My concern with this design is that logo, the space utilized, right? Mine was
Yeah.
it's just a wireframe and then it scrolls down. So if you want these sections visible right from the beginning and forego that introduction set, because this is the introduction, the main core thing is there's 3 aspects of government.
Yeah, it is. That's the main thing.
Okay, so if you now, what are we doing? Establish 1776 usurp this. Now
Okay.
those are always visible,
Mhm.
right? Is that something that always going to be visible, or is just on the screen? Like, how is it work into the menu? Like, why is it above that screen? And is it always going to stay there, or is it going to scroll up? How is the design set in place? See how the
Yeah.
fold,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So these are things that I didn't put, nice graphics. I strictly stuck with text, right? So I didn't, your 3 sections of government, if you scroll down, I basically created, keep going down. These are the 3 sections right there. And they just need to be filled up with content.
Mhm.
But see how they stack
Yeah.
based on the side of the screen?
So
That's
this is,
what's called responsive.
yeah. So if we could use like this one here. Okay, so you got this one. That's how we can put it like that. Establish, usurp, restored.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
scroll it, it doesn't stay on the screen. I don't know how that menu, if they put it in the menu design, that's
Oh,
that's my concern, is how it sits on the screen when it moves and everything.
so what we want you to do is figure out how to put it on the screen so it can move like you
Yeah,
did right here.
yeah,
Establish, usurp, restored. So that's how it would go on the screen. Because that's the length, that's how you would have to design it to go on the screen.
yeah. When you can do something nice design there, that can be a whole fold, like, or it could be a part of the hero section, or it could be, you know what I mean? That could be the welcome. You know what I mean? Depending on what screen and how it's designed, right? The most important thing is in that fold, you can say, hey, check out the sections of government. You know what I mean? Make it a little bit more intuitive because not everybody's got to know to look there. You know what I mean? You're already thinking that most people know when people come here, why are they engaging? That's my point. You know what I mean? So that's what the first screen is: who you are, why you're here, and how can I help you? You know what I mean? These are the type of things that are reinforced through design and impact on the hero section of a website. And then it goes down. Then you can create interactivity things that allow you to help people scroll to the section of interest.
Okay.
And that's
So,
why that menu is always accessible, right? You can always get to, and then technically it would link to other sections of the site. But on this particular screen, you could, they're all hyperlinked.
mhm.
And you
So
can
on this particular layout, it's the hero section, the blue part.
Yeah, and it technically should fill up the whole screen at this point in time. It's not, like I said, it's not proportionally set. And that's where you could have an image, but then you start doing images, you want to have a contrast, so that's when you create boxes of text. You know what I mean? And that's where you see on the images, like light has high contrast with a dark background. You can do that, and sometimes you do like a shadow effect on the text, or you create a box around it. So you have distinct separation of colors and you have that contrast, so it's legible, right?
Mhm.
So there's the accessibility of, and especially on different devices, you start using image overlays and shadows and stuff like that. It doesn't look the same. It looks good as a picture, but the
Mhm.
effect on all devices isn't the same.
Mhm. So, well, this one is more conducive. This particular design is more conducive to the design we have here on the mock-up. So
Yes.
so uh we could work with this design right here and just these three boxes right here.
Yeah, and you just
We
use
got
those.
them.
Well, that's exactly what's supposed to be done. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You
So
just
you
you
want
just
us to look at what we've mocked up to try to see how it fits into what the responsiveness has to function like.
Yes, yeah, you
Okay.
can just design the elements, so it's just, they're basically, all this stuff was placeholders, that's all it was,
Okay. Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Okay. Now on here, as far as the black part right here, we could put an image right there.
Absolutely,
Okay. Mhm.
absolutely, nice big graphic, make sure, but whoever's designing it, remember, keep the contrast high when you're trying to represent text, you wanna make sure that there's elements, and you can make it, you can make it responsive or parallax. If you've ever done that, that would be cool. Where the image is there, but as you scroll, it doesn't scroll at the screen. It stays like, there's a bunch of stuff you can do.
So on this one here, I like to add the establish, usurp, restored, that part on here under
Yeah,
that.
yep,
You can
yep.
put that fold right there up under the black.
Or you can animate it into the background. You can do some
Oh,
nice video work. You know what I mean? This is the introduction. You can be random videos based on introduction. And it can remember the user's cookies and display it as being, this person's a regular user, and display a normal background. And if someone's new, do the video. You can turn it off, turn it on. All this stuff can be done.
okay.
There is no, but the main thing is interactivity and usability is my concern. I
Mhm.
don't, the images of what you guys want to say and project, I'm sure as long as we have nice pictures, we want to keep it clean and simplistic because of devices and viewports and everything else,
Mhm.
right? And then,
Okay.
that's what the intent was, to keep the heroes. I mean, we can talk about, this is the UI part, right? Sorry, the UX part in interactivity. There's a difference between, design part and interactivity, UI UX.
Mhm. Okay, and then this part here, the interactive map holder. Now let me show you on this other sample website that we were looking at how they
Okay.
have this map. So it says over here, find your legislature.
Yep.
That would be like find your state. See how they have the map there?
Yep.
So when you hit on one of these places,
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what map generation is. I'm also at Carolina North
okay,
Academy. Um, can you right click on that map?
right click.
Go to inspect, the bottom. Okay, on where it says the code right there, here, leaflet, no. And where it says here on the elements.
Elements. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, if you could just slowly scroll up a little bit, let's see what the component is. So,
Up.
yeah, scroll up. We're looking for, okay, live deflet, no scrolling, keep going. Container, no. The header, no, we're quite past it now. It's in one of the divs. Anyways, we're trying to figure out what map it is. See, this is what I was looking at. The overlay of the mapping.
Mhm.
This is done, I'll have a look at this particular one, but a mapping software that's being generated from wherever, and you're just setting overlays on top of it. My concern is all the overlays of all the different counties, whatever portion of the map. So I was trying to have something that's dynamic and look at it. It's a little bit more involved than, you know what I mean? Someone's done this, whether he had got it from a system. So that's why I'll look into this actually, now that I've seen how it's done.
So Leaflet, is Leaflet I don't know. Is
That
that
might be the
name?
mapping software, Leaflet.
Okay, it says Leaflet powered by Esri.
Yeah, so here, we'll go over the ESRI, go over that.
Mhm.
Can you go to the link on the top there? Does it have a
Right
link?
here?
Yeah, click on
Mhm.
that. Yeah, GIS software, here we go, it's exactly. See, but and there's a subscription, but look at the products.
Products, okay.
And then it would be the map, I don't know, one of these, but this is they created something for this thing, so I'd have to look at it, but I'm sure there's a cost involved, you
Okay.
know.
Mhm.
And now it's, kind of what my concern is with Google too. I mean, you're searching and you have an API, you have so much free use, but if you use it so many times, that it starts to be a charge for some of the software. So that was another concern of mine too as well. What platform we can use the most effective that can create those overlays. Like see how they have it split up with, I don't know, that doesn't look like counties, but it could be. I mean, it doesn't even address what it is, so that's not very effective in all actuality, because you want to have the counties clearly marked and identifiable. So if they're scrolling in certain areas, that's, this is the type of concerns with this type of software that I'm trying to find something that'll be easy and dynamic once we get it figured out to be able to interact with it. And then those sections linked to the according of what we want it to do. So that interactivity is, you know,
Mhm. So, you see how
correct.
it pops to the left over here and tells you the district name, person and all that? I was thinking of having the coordinator or the chairman and the county sheriff and the recording secretary over there.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
first, let's get the map in place first, and then we can add.
Mhm.
That's the main thing is, like get the minimum based up and then you enhance it as you go from there. So sky is the limit, but let's just get it get it up and working first.
That's another part of this website that I liked about the map and popping over to the
Can you
left
can you
and
send me the link for this? I know it's somewhere in the videos, but can you just send me the link so I can link to
yeah.
it? But
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean,
Okay,
there's
so
lots of websites that have, but again, I'm looking at it, and if I'm looking at the top right there, after a while, that picture, you know, the legibility. I don't know. See
you don't
how?
like the picture up there?
Well, I mean, sections. Yeah, pictures are definitely, but they're used sparsely in modern web design. Like it's effective
Mhm.
in sections, right? You do one
Mhm.
section, you have a graphic, and then you have a clean section where it's more white and informational, and you know what I mean? You
Mhm.
don't want to make it
Yes.
too cluttery.
So this is modern.
It's
This.
interactive. This is the UX UI. This was the UX part of it,
Mhm.
interactivity wise.
Mhm.
Because you look at the menu now, the menu at top, I think it's almost too big right now. Looking at it, it scrolls with it, but it still takes up a little bit too much space. It could be the padding on the top and the padding at the bottom could be removed a little bit, based on the first little scroll, so things like that, that's still a fair amount of screen to take up. um, it probably could be decreased. You know what I mean? These things, you know what I mean? That way you have more real estate on the screen to sell whatever you're selling, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Or presenting, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Okay.
That was my thought.
Mhm. So
Not that this is just, I mean, looking at the interactivity part, you can change the style and whatever, and you can reorder things, but if you collapse that, you'll see how it reacts. What you can do is right click on it again. Anywhere on the screen, actually.
right click on this, right click,
Yeah, inspect. I'll show you something real quick.
inspect.
Inspect.
Okay.
Okay, at the top there, devices right there, right, the second icon from the top, very top icons. I'm not looking at the code. Yeah, right there.
Mhm.
Toggle that.
Click on that.
Click on that. Yeah. Okay, so now move that over. Move the thing over here. Yeah, here.
So you can see it.
Yeah, the text you can grab right at the edge there. See down there's two bars in the middle there. Down right there. See the two bars there in that slider? Slide it over so it's more screen. Over a little, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. You just had it right there. Yep. Scroll the other way. Get rid of the text. We want
This
more
is
more of the
stopping it.
screen.
Hold on. This is stopping it. Oh, that is it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Scroll it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so now from there you can change device.
There we go. Now you can do it.
Yeah, but just keep it wherever, somewhere. But it says if you click on dimensions, let go. Responsive dimensions up top. Go up top. No, on the left side now. Sorry, in the screen. Dimensions.
In here?
Keep going over. It
In
says,
here? Oh,
yeah,
dimensions
yes.
responsive. Okay,
Click on that,
okay.
and then you can do the different phones.
Oh, okay.
So this is how you test the website for. So do the iPhone 12 Pro.
12 Pro. Okay.
Hit refresh. Whatever you did, you screwed up the. I don't know. Just hit refresh. Yeah. So see, this should be responsive. Now it's not being responsive in these environments. So these are the type of things that we want to have. It whatever it's not doing in this browser, it's not hit 100%. Maybe that might be it. You're not hitting 100%. Go to the other one and do the other one. See if that one. It's not. I've never seen it
This
do
one?
that. Yeah. Now do the same thing. So go right click,
Okay.
inspect. It's
This is
already
already.
it's already in
it's
mobile
already-
mode. But see how it's responsive. So change your different phone again to a different phone dimension. Just pick a phone.
SE, Samsung. That's Samsung.
Right now, scroll down on the phone. Now scroll. You can scroll down. See
Mhm.
how it's set on each of the phones. These are the space on the phones too. So that icon right there at the top, United States government, that should be a nice, elegant, maybe a smaller font that's taking up a lot of space in that screen. So these are the different types of screens, dimensional viewports that I'm talking about. Because remember, most people are going to be viewing these sites on their phone.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right, so you start creating a lot of content. It's got to shuffle. It's got to adjust. It's got to basically readjust based on that screen. So you can do that. We'll click on that one. Do the same thing.
Okay. So like up here with this Tennessee General Assembly, small like that.
Smaller, yeah. But scroll down
Go down.
on his site.
Oh, that's it. That's
See,
all.
his just resizes. Get rid of this
Oh.
map. Go to another section. See how his just resized. You can't even click it the same way as the site that I just showed you. It's not as usability. It's not as friendly.
See this list he
Yeah,
got
and
right here? Mhm.
that's not responsive.
Mhm. This is his menu. So let's
It
do
adjusts somewhat a little bit. Go to the home page. Let's see what it looks like.
okay, home screen.
It did adjust there yeah. See how it's the folds, you know what I mean? Things get switched over.
Mhm.
I don't think that's a very legible. I think it's a very busy website. Yes, is what you're trying to convey, but I think it's not as clean. You can use nice imagery, but it's not as legible as what we proposed. You know what I mean? Doing those shadows is not as You can still use that imagery effectively and still use different sections. Like
Mhm.
right there, you could create a nice use image right there, profound, but then give the person why, you know what I mean? Why are you here? What's
So this is why you have the explore services or join the forum, an interaction right here on the top,
yeah, or put
if
in
you
a
click,
third button there, put for the you
oh,
know,
third button. Mhm.
third button at the bottom, say explore your divisions of government or whatever, you know what I mean? So you have to
Okay,
explain what you're doing, you know, why are you here? And you know, so you could make incorporate that into the design of the first engagement,
okay.
basically. It's the capture point where
Mhm. And you got all this right
you're
here.
soliciting the engagement. Why are we here? You know what I mean? If you're there and use the site all the time, for somebody that's a stranger, it's a different experience, right?
Mhm. So was the intent, if you click on this explore services, is it gonna drop down here to explore the Federation?
Yeah, go down, scroll down, keep going.
Okay,
Well, I think it was going to keep going. Here's the services here, right? That would be the services here, wasn't it?
wait
So
a minute. The
click on
services, here's
navigation.
the
It
services,
actually, yeah.
public services and tools. Mhm.
If you click the navigation, I think it actually scrolled to that.
Oh, these will,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, that's the services. Then the assemblies is that interactive map.
yeah,
The media is down here, the forum wherever, and then the
yeah,
contact.
yeah. It's not, yeah, the contact
Yeah,
is.
okay. And will the explore service and join the forum do that same thing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it
Okay.
depends on the screen. And right now, it's not proportionate. I just put hyperlinks into it, but remember, they're full. So on each screen, you have to. It's not just the web, like one beautiful picture. That's why I'm trying to like emphasize this. As soon as you start putting tons of images on these sites, especially in mobile environments, you have more interactivity to get the information. Yeah, the landing point for the expression, the creativity can still be there within certain segments of it, but you still have to design it with a mobile first approach.
Okay, I can see, so whatever this menu is here, that's in our menu bar, or whatever the interactive buttons is on our hero page, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, the
Um,
hero's the landing, the very here
okay,
first.
the landing, okay. Those buttons will scroll down the page to the specific sections that they want to interact with.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. So think of this, so we need to think of the website as these boxes and what's gonna go in these boxes.
Yes.
Okay,
And you can change the style of it. I mean, it can reflect many different styles, but I suggest to keep it as clean as possible because remember, this is going to be potentially a high traffic website. And the more load that you put on, the more load there's on the server and the slower the websites is. So these are all considerations, like lazy loading images. There's techniques that you can use to optimize the interaction with, you know, the data transfer, but you know, you could technically, if you're this type of site, if you're on you know, a high bandwidth, you show a video, you know, and you could have the video explaining, you know, whatever, you know,
right.
or on this type of thing, you could display this, you know.
So these established 1776, usurp, use and restored, those four things, they could click to a video.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's, I mean, depending on how much you want to emphasize them, right? So I'm thinking for me right now, if I was looking at a screen, I think that's it's they're I mean they're mentioned, they're highlighted, they're you know enhanced, they're very visible, but the impact, the importance of what that means could be presented a different way. It could be you know a flashing three years up. I mean established in 1776 and have a nice graphic and a story usurped in 16 have a story and it you know what I mean. So it could be that could be inside with the welcome first and instead of having a segment below separation, it can be incorporated into the story of the hero section.
So instead of the explore services and join
No, you
forum.
can still have them, just
Okay.
incorporated into the welcome. So the welcome right? First thing you see is welcome United States government site, platform, whatever you want to call it. And then the hero could go through the next screen could be established in 1776, and then a little explanation. And then the next image could be usurped in 16,
Oh. Mhm.
and then just explain how it is, but still have like explore the Federation should be probably a link on the main one too as well. You got to think about what is the intent, what is your focus, where do you want to lead the engagement of the user, and then
Okay.
you have to take all those considerations and all the different viewports and different windows, the different types of, whether on a large screen website on a computer or whether you're on a mobile device. Now remember, mobile devices are 80 to 90% of your web traffic these days.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
So these are the things that I wanted to bring to attention to, because I know a lot of people, oh, I can design a website, but they're designing a website and then they're designing a website.
Okay, so I got more to work on as far as how I'm envisioning how the website will function.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember not to keep it content heavy, elegant and nice, clean representation. Having it too cluttery on different devices and viewports isn't smart idea to do. It's better to have distinct imagery and contrast and yeah.
Okay. Let me ask this. So if we put an image on the hero section, would you like recommend not putting images on the rest of it? Have it like this, like gray and white
Well, yeah, because whatever color background, go back to one of the squares. Go back to one of the squares to go scroll down.
down? Mhm.
One of these, right? Any of these can have whatever information in it whatsoever. So it could be an image within that square, right? It could be the information within that square. So what is your chat? You could have information more. I just left it basic. It's just a basic shell. You'd want to put the content within there, and how do you want to display it? But that's its segment. That's how it would work. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You could add images. The ideal, if you want to have a dynamic site, is to do an image fold, the next one to be a text fold that's clean
Okay.
reference text, and the next fold would be an image section, or however, the best way to convey the information to have the engagement of that user.
Okay. Mhm. All right. And these background of these can be a different color.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Mhm.
This is just a wireframe of how interactivity of a site should, what buttons are on there, how we want to do it. Again, this was just a reflection of design of UX. I don't know why that one was coming like that. I don't know. I think it's
I'm gonna
close.
open it up again. Let me see. See how that one works. Was it the
I think it got zoomed inside of it and it didn't. Just right click, inspect.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, there.
See how there's color contrast between each fold? This one's a better one in that sense because you could create a background there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's got a different background color. Mhm.
Yeah. Again, they were just placeholders,
Okay.
but just trying to show how dimensionally based on what you provided, that would be the best kind of interactivity. And you can, it's gonna look similar on all devices now. Like I said, that's the most important thing, is that you are going to be putting this on devices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to resize images properly and have them consistent. You're just adding,
Okay. All right,
that's where I was going.
that's good. So, that's a better, now the two concepts is coming together.
Yeah, there's difference between doing a design, like a picture layout in
Mhm.
comparison to doing a design, I mean, a web interactive, because it's an application, really. You have elements that you
Mhm.
I think this would be more profound if it was just a blue screen, unless you're kind of like you're mixing the two. What's the, you know what I mean? So to me, you take away from the squares with the image background, to be honest, and you can do
Mhm.
another fold with the image used somewhere else, or the image should be the first one with what we're doing here and why you're here and what we can help you with.
Okay, okay.
And
Let us go back.
That United States up top is a huge amount of wasted space. Unless it's gonna scroll the site, but then now you don't have a menu that's
Mhm,
accessible to get you to where you want, so you lose interactivity, accessibility of features.
mhm. Gotcha. Mhm. In that interactivity part, I wasn't really thinking of interaction when I was drafting it up after the meeting. But I can see now how I have to be thinking about interaction as I put the content on the page.
Yeah,
Um,
no, and that's
how
how
to
you
lead the focus of the
exactly.
how they go
This
through.
is your opportunity right here, this first screen to engage them and tell them, hey, you can navigate the different sections, right? You can put,
Mm,
you can put whatever kind of content on that first one. That's when you get the impact, the engagement. Nice video. What would it sometimes would be awesome to have one on there.
mhm. Okay. All right. Well, I will work on that part to kind of reconstruct what that home page would look like. Hey, Eric, you late. uh, to reconstruct what the home what we had in the design template and put
Yeah.
it in here so it can function the way that here functions.
Or similar, just that's, you know what I'm saying? It has it's just, this is a suggestion again, but these are concerns that I want to bring to your attention.
Okay. So Eric, we're I guess I'm about done.
Yeah, we went over everything. You're kind of late, Eric.
You got to watch the replay. Yeah. So I will work on it in about next 3-4 days or so and send you
Again,
something.
those two buttons on the front there, okay? Well, those are call for actions. That's
Yes.
engage. So if
Mhm.
those engagement buttons need to be to explore the Federation, then I put the explore the Federation. What is the primary focus of the site? Where do you want to draw the attention? Where do you want to lead the user to interact with? Why are they there?
Okay.
These are
Yeah.
things that, you know what I mean?
This was saying explore the platforms on the assembly. Okay. Mhm.
Those are your call for actions on the first engagement with the website. So you can direct it, and that could be the whole image, nice graphically laid out. And you can put the usurpation, the all different information in there through however you want to put design. It could be one image, it could be multiple images, it could be an animation, right? But still, you're going to have your call for actions of where you're trying to the most
Understand.
interactive point why somebody's even there.
Yeah. Okay. It's like what is the storyline that you want them to follow?
Yes.
Mhm.
Where do you want to lead the user? Like what are the most what is where are you trying to get the user to engage with? And if they want information, how is it accessible?
Mhm. Okay. I got it. You got it, Eric? We're gonna send the replay out and in the next few days. See, what's today? Today is Thursday. In the next few days, I'll work on this and send out what I have to our graphic artists and have them watch. Well, they should watch the video already and see if they have any input from there. And then we can
Yeah.
schedule our next
I mean,
meeting.
you can make it look however, but we really want to keep it a clean site because of the mobile aspect of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Accessibility. These are things that I've just learned from experience that's why
Mhm.
I would shy away. I mean, yeah, if it was a particular site, one fold and that was it, like they kind of have, but we have multiple folds that we're trying to achieve, it's not the same. They can fit their image, that site design almost kind of has, it's a fold and a half. It's not even,
Mhm.
multiple sections of the site. So that's where my concern was. I knew that was kind of the case, but I want to
Okay.
discuss that with you.
Okay. All right. Got it. I'll work on this and get back with you in the next 3 days or so. And send it
Remember,
out. to everybody.
your eyes lead left to right. So I didn't set any specific order, right? Even though some people are right to left, right? So depending on that person, how you want to organize it, the three, obviously the, first in line, first in time, but also when it folds, you also want to make sure it's accessible that way because it stacks, right? So those containers will drop in under each other and then, make it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? What it's
Yeah.
doing here. So if the peacekeeping task force is the priority, then it would be the first on the fold,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got you. All right.
All right, well, good.
All right, Eric, I'm gonna send this out later today with some notes of what we're gonna be working on in the next few days. And then from there, we'll decide when we're gonna have our next meeting. Okay,
Sounds good.
all right.
All right,
You
well, you
all
have a wonderful night.
you too. Y'all
Yeah.
have a good night.
Yeah, take care.
All right.